Hello, guys. Good evening, and welcome to the 1 year anniversary of the Just Banter show. How time flies all the way from a radio. Just Banter show has been streaming for a year now, and that is 365 days, 90 shows, 6,000 plus watch hours, and 100 plus amazing guests. So, guys, I am officially inviting you to the exclusive interview with the Just Banter host himself in person of Abib Enyola. Now, the table is turned tonight. He's a guest on the show and is coming all the way from Ireland in Dublin, or I mean Dublin, Ireland. We're right here together. He's a broadcaster, a management consultant, an entrepreneur, and the founder of from a radio. Now, I am Tito Balsam, your host, hosting your favorite host tonight, and I'm super duper excited. Now, before the show kicks off, I like to talk about the social media and the importance. But before then, we're going to quick commercial break. When we're back, we'll be bringing in your favorite host of the Just Banter show. Just know that I'm just his replica tonight. So you're seeing a host hosting the major host. Stay tuned. Go nowhere. We'll be right back. Yep. Hello. Okay, so guys, welcome back. We have Habib here with us already. Okay. I think we have you back here. Hello. Okay, so I think we have Abib right here. So we have, can you hear me, Abib?
Hi,
Yeah.
I can hear you
Eventually.
loud and clear.
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm great.
How
Have you
is
been?
Dublin today?
Well, funny weather. It was very, very hot earlier on in the day, but right now the weather
Okay.
is quite better. It's a bit warm, so
Wow.
it's all good. Yeah. So how are you?
Okay, so what I am trying so hard to hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay.
What
So how are you doing today?
is my audio bad?
No, it's fair enough. I think I can hear you right now.
Okay, all right, that's fantastic. So,
So tell me in three words, how do you feel tonight?
well, um, pretty interesting that, something that I started like a year ago, and it was a case of the pandemic.
Oh,
There was a lockdown and nobody could go anywhere
okay.
with COVID-19. And it was supposed to be a test run
Yeah.
and what it was like. So we went in with both feet at the same time, not realizing that we were going to run all through for one whole year, just like that. So it's been pretty
Wow.
interesting.
Just like that.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I enjoy the feeling. It's nice.
Okay. So if I was gonna ask you, it's a year already. In 3 words, how do you feel?
In 3 words,
Yeah,
I'm
how do you feel?
I'm extremely grateful. That's what I would say.
Okay. Okay. So before we go into the main show, I'd like us to talk a bit about social media. Right now, I think it has evolved greatly, and I don't know whether to say social media has done more harm than good, or it has done so much good and a little harm. So, what do you think about that?
Well, without social media, we wouldn't even be here in the first place, because social media is what has given us to be able to interact, meet people that ordinarily would have been lost, over the
Okay.
years. So I am in Dublin, somebody that I went to primary school with and I've not seen in 40 years. I can actually now interact with the person. I can find the person. We can relate as if
Yeah.
we even just saw yesterday. We can make video calls. We can pass news across from one person to the other. It has
To another, yeah.
it has increased the empathy levels, amongst people to a large extent, even though for some people it seems like a means to become a cyberbully. But largely, it's
Yeah.
things to have happened to the world at this point in time.
Okay. All right. So, would you say I want you to give me, from a scale of 1 to 100,
Yeah,
the harm and the good it has done. I mean, social media has done to our present century. A scale from 1 to 100.
a scale of 1 to 100, I would say probably maybe about 70%, because, like I said earlier on, we have the ability to
70
reach
30 bad.
700, 700. 700 good. 700 good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That's fair enough for me.
yeah.
Okay, now so I'd like you to introduce yourself quickly,
You
tell us
yourself.
about you, what you studied, what you're into, so we could have a broad view of
What I
you.
studied. Okay, so let me take it.
Can you?
Let me take it. Let me
Yes,
take it.
just a view about you, so people would know. Yeah.
Um, First things first. I do not believe in what people studied, but I'll tell you what I studied. So I initially studied history, and then
Okay.
it's did quite a
Okay.
lot because it expanded my worldview. I was able to see things from a very, very diverse point of view on different issues. Then I now studied international business. After studying international business, I
Okay.
studied international projects management. So I'm a management consultant. I'm actually a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants. I'm a certified management consultant. Um, an international,
Okay.
I'm an international project manager. I consult for businesses when it comes to international business, new business across borders, that kind of stuff. And I had an interest
Okay.
in I had an interest in news dissemination, the type of news that people were getting. People were not getting the type of news that ordinarily they should be getting.
Mm-hmm.
There was narratives, a lot of agenda when it comes to the type of news that was being disseminated all over Africa and Nigeria in particular. Practically all the news houses, radio stations, television stations, news stations were all founded by politicians, and those politicians were using it to present their own message. They were not
Okay.
there was nothing really balanced about it.
Okay.
Journalism had stopped being what it used to be. So I was of the opinion that it was time to actually look into it and try to figure out something in that regard. So that's how I got to where I am right now. So, can you hear me?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can hear
yes, I
you.
can hear you. I think the network's a bit messy, but I think I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, so when you started Just Banter Show, what was in your head? Like, what was the inspiration behind you starting a show like that?
Okay, well, just banter. So initially it was supposed to be from a radio.com. So different, it was supposed to be a platform for independent
Okay,
broadcasters to be able to come, use the platform and pass out their own message
okay,
without restrictions, be themselves, be able to say things the way they
okay,
felt, be able to speak truth to power.
okay,
So in the course of trying to get that off the ground, a lot of people, as of that point, like I
okay,
said, time last year, a lot of people were disoriented with the entire COVID-19 issue and all of that. So now, because of that, of course, it was now a case of getting to onboard people was a bit dicey. So we're like, okay, fine. I can also start a show. It was not something I ever thought I would do. I'm quote unquote, I'm a camera shy person. I can take
okay,
pictures, but I'm not looking at me really fine.
okay. Obviously,
But um, sitting down in front of the live camera and talking and people listening to me, that shook me for quite a while. So it took me about 3 weeks or so to be able to get myself around to it to say, okay, you know what,
mhm,
let me give it a try. And that was when I now said, okay, let me reach out to a few people. Let me see if I can get a guest or two to come on. So at least it won't be just me. So at least it will now be a case like this,
okay,
like a video call, so to speak. So I got in touch with two or three,
okay,
people and asked if they be interested. Now, being in the entertainment industry. So I knew that that should, come naturally to them for them to say, okay, fine, being on camera is not a big deal. And I was hoping that one of them would come on. To my surprise, there were actually four of them
okay.
that actually came on. All of them from in
Wow,
the entertainment industry, and they were
wow.
all large men when it comes to the entertainment industry. So two of them were, from Chocolate City,
Mm,
as in big management guys at Chocolate
okay,
City. One of them was the largest promoter out of Southeast Asia when it came to entertainment. So he's done like a whiskey, the band, all of that. He ran a nightclub, that had a
okay,
3,000 capacity for over 5 years. So it was a deep, very interesting interview, and there was a lot
mhm,
that I talked about, especially when it came to the arts, culture, and
okay,
entertainment in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. So that set the ball rolling, and a lot of things just started to happen.
okay.
And I mean, we were able to get a former senator to even come on board for something that was just starting. So that seemed, pretty. I mean, it was amazing. It's been an amazing journey so far. I
Wow.
can't myself when it comes to how I truly feel about it. But yeah,
Okay. Okay, that's nice. So every establishment, everything, we do in life always comes with challenges rather. So what has been the challenges so far and how have you been able to solve them?
as the average Nigerian would say, "Chai, where I want start from." There has been plenty.
You can start anywhere. Okay, to start anywhere. Just start somewhere.
It has been plenty, very 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 plenty. I've had some very very
Okay.
tight situations. I'll first start from setting up, from a radio in itself. It has been a major challenge because it has been self-funded all through.
Okay.
We don't have any external sponsors.
Wow.
It's one of our companies,
Okay.
as a matter of fact, or from a radio that actually does most of the financial backing of from a radio, and that is Color Media. So I'm
Okay.
grateful to all the guys at Color Media who are putting so much and trying the
Okay.
best that they can. So we've had the financial issues. Then we've also had the issue of direction because we are pretty new at this. We truly don't have an idea of what it is that we're
Mm,
doing. We're just looking at it and trying to see how we can look at things in perspective, considering the fact that none of us has ever been in media. But we just felt it was time to do something about it. Although we are working strongly on it, we are bringing on an advisory board, and then we are bringing on a couple of broadcasters like yourself, somewhere along the line, very, very soon, as a matter of fact, and then we'll progress from there. Then also, there were times I had when it was time for me to broadcast, to do a live show podcast. I think maybe the producers can actually put one of those on screen for the viewers to see, and I hope they have a good laugh because it was something that was pretty amazing. So let me see. Okay, can we do that? TV. Hello. Hello. Oh, internet seems to have frozen.
Okay, so can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello, TD. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Okay,
me,
so I
TD?
think yes, I can hear you now. There
All right.
was a
Yeah.
bit of breakage in my network, so I think you can hear me now.
Oh, all right. Okay, that's brilliant. So I don't know
All right,
what's.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I was
where were
talking.
you?
I was talking about the challenges. So I was asking if the
Yes.
producer could put, on screen, a video that I gave to them, something that I did. I was in transit, and I needed to broadcast, and I didn't have any
Okay.
equipment and all of that. Actually needed to use a green screen
To do that.
for that show, that particular
Okay.
day. So I had to improvise, and it was one of the funniest things, that I've ever done in terms of improvising. So maybe they put that on screen
Okay.
now. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Hi. Pretty interesting sometimes when you need to improvise to do what you got to do. Now, let me show you my setup for tonight. How I was able to put a virtual background behind myself. So, as you can see, these are my lights. These two soft lights, and then I have that, of course. So, it's pretty bright in here. It's pretty alright. And I've got my Rode microphone. It's a fantastic microphone. It works wonders. And then I've got my MacBook Pro. This is usually, what my setup stuff is like. Sometimes I do change the mic because I have a couple of mics. And because I don't have a green screen, so what I did was I bought a green towel. Yep. Bought a green towel. Mounted it, with clips. Attached it. It's what you call some serious improvisation. And did that. And then, because I couldn't stretch it to the end, I had to weight down. So you've got water in these bags, if you check them. That's mad, isn't it? Yeah. So I actually put weights on both of them using water in the bags. And that's it. It works brilliantly. Ran the whole show, an hour and a half, and everything worked perfect. All right. Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hour and a half, and everything works perfect. All right. Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So
Okay. Can you hear me, Abib?
I can hear you loud.
Abi,
Loud
are
and
you
clear.
there?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, I think that's like the most amazing thing I would see. I think that was amazing, amazing, amazing. You used a green towel. Okay, that
Quite.
was pretty amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was pretty smart. So you've shown me and you're showing the world that you can think outside the box, which is really one of the greatest quality of someone in your line of business. So I think that's cool. So moving on to the next question now. The reception you've gotten so far from this online platform, would you say is worth it? Or would you say, at that junction where you feel like, yes, you've arrived? There's a time in your life you feel like, oh, yes, I have arrived. So the reception you've gotten so far from this show, tell us about it.
Okay. So I would say I have arrived, and let me tell you why I said so. It's not about
Okay.
the it's not about the volume of the people. We don't have a large following because
Okay.
we have not tried to monetize. What we have tried to do is we have
Okay.
tried to pass social messages across as much as possible.
Okay.
From when we started, we actually started with social messages. We always
Okay.
have a social message or two at the end of each show.
Okay.
One of the
Sure. Okay.
campaigns, one of the campaigns that has been very dear to me has been the campaign against rape, which I feel is something that is destroying society as we know it. So we've been campaigning strongly from day one, against rape in itself. We
Mm-hmm.
also part funded an artist, a young artist who just came out right about that time. Her name is TY. She's on the Stronghold Entertainment label and all that, Top Dog Records. So we part funded that because her song was about rape. It was called Your Mama Na Woman, no, and all of that. Beautiful
Yeah, I
song,
think I heard the song at some point. Yeah.
So we part funded that. Even the video for the song, I featured in the video. I was on screen, the first thing that you see for the musical video itself, because
Mm-hmm.
of my passion, in the fight against rape. Now, there are quite a few people who have been almost fanatical in following Just Banter. I can't start to mention names now because there are quite a few of them. And I don't want to leave out anybody's name so that the person doesn't get offended or the persons don't get offended. But there are quite a few of them.
Okay.
Those few people,
Okay.
those few people have given me a lot of encouragement in terms of what we're
Okay.
doing. It has been amazing that they, could support us as much as they have been supporting us. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Okay. Abib, I can't see your video anymore.
Okay, I don't know what happened there, but I'm trying to fix it now.
Okay, so you figure it out. I can hear you. Please go on.
Okay, all right. So they have been absolutely fantastic. Okay, I'm back. They have been absolutely
We'll be
fantastic.
back.
They have
Yeah.
supported us, so much, and words of encouragement, private messages that have been sent. Sometimes it's a case of they actually look at me and tell me, "Oh, the last show that I saw, blah blah blah, it was so interesting. I learned something new." Because as much as possible, we try to make sure that the people that we interact with on screen are people that can bring
Okay.
some level of value. At a point,
Okay.
that first show that we did, barely a month or so after that first show, because we spoke extensively about the arts and culture, like I said, in Nigeria. So we are not taking any
Yeah.
credit on
Nigeria.
it, but the issue of national theatre was brought up in the course of that conversation on how national theatre could have been monetized, managed better, and how people could have benefited, as in Nigerians could have benefited much more from the national theatre. And barely, a month after that, the federal government came out and made an announcement about, privatizing the national theatre. Somebody actually thought, it was due to us because the person actually sent the article to us and said influencers, and I'm like, no, this has nothing to do with us. It just happened. Even though I don't believe in coincidence, but I believe that indeed was coincidence.
Yeah. Right.
Then one of our guests also, who was on the show at some point, who spoke extensively on mining, has now
Okay.
actually been made the first pioneering MD of a
Wow.
mine, of a federal government-owned mining consulting agency.
Wow. Wow.
We
Wow.
have seen, a little bit of things that have given us, pure joy, so to speak.
Okay, now before we go on the commercial break, you said something earlier which I was going to ask you. Just listen to our next question. What
Yeah.
comes to your mind when you're about having a guest on the show? And how do you carefully select topics that you hear on the show?
Oh, topics. Okay, so on the issue of topics,
Yeah.
we try as much as possible to discuss contemporary issues, something that is
Okay.
not
Trending.
necessarily not necessarily trending.
Trending. Okay.
We happen to be able to catch something that is trending, we would latch onto it and then try to, something around that. We did something around NSAS. Then we also
Yes, I
did
saw that too.
yes, and then we also did something
I've
around
been
the Arabs.
following, anyways. I've been following.
You've been following, yes, I know. Yeah, one of our strong supporters. So we also did something. The Arab Spring, and that was done in
Okay.
Tunisia. As a matter of fact, we were on ground in Tunisia. I had a beautiful time doing that. It was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not something that has been strategic. It hasn't been strategic. We just have been going with the flow so far.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so what are the things you consider, when you want to invite a guest on the show? I mean, you can't just bring anyone on the show. What are the things that comes to your head? What are the things you consider? What peak is that person supposed to be in his career, like his career peak, before you know, oh yes, this person deserves to be on my show?
We don't. We are not. We are not an exclusive. We are not exclusive at all in our approach to it. We try as much as possible to be inclusive. So we are not
Okay.
waiting for somebody to be at the peak of their career.
Career,
What
okay.
what we look for are people that are contributing positively as much as possible to society. People that
Okay.
have something to offer. People that
Yeah.
anybody that is watching any show can learn something. That's basically it. So we are not after the big ones. We're trying to put the points to anybody.
Okay, if you can hear me,
Yeah,
can
loud
you
and
hear
clear.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I think network is a bit, messy, but we can work around it. Now, I'm sorry, I'm a bit. Can you hear me right now? Okay, so I think I
Yes, I
can
can
hear
hear you.
you. So
You can hear me.
what has been the hardest thing getting a guest on the show? Because the reason why I'm asking this particular question, I'm a media personality too. I work in a radio station and a TV station. So it's always a bit hard to get the right people on the show. Do you understand? So I need to know what has been the hardest thing trying to get this person, their time, to schedule, having to be online. Some might be flying, some might have things to do, and you have a time stable for your show. So what has been the hardest trying to get people as guests on the show?
Time is always, the challenge for most people. A
Okay.
lot of people, as much as they would like to support you, in as much as they would like to be on your show, in as much as they can see the benefits of being on your show,
Yeah.
time is always a challenge for most people.
Yeah, it's always a challenge.
Yeah. But unfortunately, a lot of Africans and Nigerians in particular still don't realize that if you have the opportunity to give yourself and your business some form of publicity, you should take it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them be taking rather than giving, so they'll be wondering what is in it for me. So it takes a bit of an effort to be able to get your message across and say, look, this works for you, because it is free publicity for you. We are not asking you for anything. We are not selling anything on your behalf or whatever. But if you want us to actually, talk about your business, push your business out to people, we will definitely do that. And we've done that for quite a
Do
few.
that.
We've done that for quite a few businesses, both in Nigeria in the UK, in the US. So there's an agri technology business that we actually hosted. One of the directors, I think he's actually the founder of the director. I can't remember, off the top of my head right now. And he got a nice link by virtue of being on the show. There's also one of the viewers who incidentally that mining, the show on mining and all that. The person, one of the viewers got in touch with us to get access to the mining consultant, and we connected them, and that person is in business now. So the person had to figure out what to do, but the person wanted to go into mining, didn't know where to start from. So the person watched the show, thought that the guy knew what he was talking about, requested for the guy's contact, we gave the contact, the person is in business now. Now we are not benefiting anything from it aside the fact that it is a social cause.
Okay.
We haven't asked for contributions from anybody so far in terms of monetary, the monetary aspect of it. But what we have leveraged on that has been greater than anybody giving us is the net. So quite a few people that we're able to talk to. The line is echoing. Is it from your end?
I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Yeah, so quite a few people have been so supportive that they're giving us much more than money, which is the network. So they are the ones that, we think that there's this fantastic guy or fantastic lady that you should talk to,
Okay.
Because it's doing X, Y, Z, and to be pretty interested. That is the most invaluable thing that anybody, could have done for us, and we deeply, deeply appreciate that. And that's still happening to you tomorrow. So we're
all right. So I want us to go on a quick commercial break. But before then, I'd like to ask this question. If there is one guest that you'd be honored to have on the show, who would that be?
Ooh. That's a pretty tough one.
Tough one. Should I give you time to think about it? Or you have to answer it now?
Is it a Nigerian or from anywhere in the world?
Anywhere in the world. It could be Donald Trump. It could be Obama, it could be, Hilton, Clinton, who could it be? Ovila David or Lupita Nyong'o? Oh, what do you think?
Okay, I'll give you an answer.
Okay, guys, let's go on a quick commercial break. When we're back, we'll continue doing what we love doing best. We have the host turned guests of the Just Banter show in person of Abib Inyola, and I am TD Balsam. Hope I got your name right, Inyola or Enyola.
Is Enyola?
Pardon me, I just wanted. Okay, pardon me. I'm not Yoruba, so pardon me. Okay, guys, we're going to a quick commercial break. Stay tuned, go nowhere. This is Steve from radio.com. We'll be right back.
Yeah, hello, T.
Okay, so can you hear me right
Yeah,
now?
I could hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so yeah, one person, that one guy that you'd be honored to have.
Um, the one person. That's a very difficult one because there are so many interesting people in the world that I would have loved to be able to sit down and have a conversation with because of the fantastic things that they are doing in their different spheres of the
Okay.
when it comes to politics, when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to sports. I mean, when it comes to sports, I'd love to talk to. It's difficult for me to choose between Lewis Hamilton and Anthony Joshua.
Okay.
It will be pretty difficult. Might be a bit biased towards Anthony Joshua because of his Nigerian, heritage.
Mm-hmm.
But Lewis Hamilton, because I mean, Lewis Hamilton could easily have been recognized as an icon and inspiration for a lot of young black people because he's in a world of
Okay.
in a sport that ordinarily was thought to be for quote unquote white people, and he's been able to excel
Okay.
extraordinarily in that sport. When it comes
Okay.
to science, there's so many. So I mean, there's so many. But if it's Nigerian, the one person I would really, really, really love to, when it comes to entertainment, is Waje.
Okay. Definitely, Roger's coming on the show very soon. Work that out.
Oh,
Now, we don't have time by our side right now. It's almost time to round up, but I'd like to ask this question real quick. As a management consultant and a serial entrepreneur, what has been the highest and the greatest achievement so far?
Just Banter.
Okay. I think I like the way you just, threw it out there. But it's really cool. Now, most people prefer terrestrial radio stations, they just switch on their cars. A lot of people, why should I pay for data or go online to watch, or listen to radio when I can just press one station, this and that. So what do you think about that? What do you have to say about that? And do you see future? Do you see future in the online radio? And lastly, this is like a bulky question. What kind of shows do you think can gain momentum on an online platform like this?
Okay. So first things first, online radio stations are now here to stay. There's a large
Okay.
population of online radio stations in the world right now. A lot of them are suffering because they are not properly structured. We were not
Okay.
we were not aware of this, and like in so many businesses, it's until you
Okay.
get into it before you now start to find out some of the intricate details that you are not aware of, regardless of the level of experience
Okay.
in any other field. Once you go into a new field, you're going to start discovering new things. So we have discovered that most of them, the initial challenge that they have is being able to structure and being able to scale,
Okay.
to the next level where
Okay.
they start becoming a business and becoming profitable. Secondly,
From
yeah, from being, just a hobby for most people because online radio stations in a large case are actually, you know,
okay.
they're largely hobbies. I just saw a comment by another, long time supporter who was asking
Okay.
about personalities. When you ask me about personalities, she says no sports person. I don't know if you can see it. So she was asking if there was no sports person in terms of the personalities that I would have liked to speak to. As in, of course, when it comes to female sports personalities, I mean, you can blow my mind any day, regardless. Even if you put a gun to my head, I want to speak to Serena Williams.
Okay.
Def-
Serena.
most. I mean,
Okay.
Serena is a goddess. You can't take that away.
Yeah,
She's
she is. She is. She's done pretty well for herself so far.
yeah.
Okay, like
So
I said, we don't have too much time, so I'm gonna ask another question. What is the most lasting conception people have about your show? Do you think people have conception about the show, the Just Banter show?
yes, and I will answer it in relation to a question that I was going to answer before, I decided to go back quickly to that question about
Okay, yeah.
about
Okay.
Serena Williams. And the reason why I had to answer that is because we are a very gender sensitive, organization, as in the Color Media Group in itself. We believe in gender equality as much as possible. So we try our best to highlight that at every point and every stage. That is why we are always looking for women who excel, and we are always running after them and say you have to come on the show, and all of that. So that's why I had to quickly take that. So as
Serena.
we are on it, So now
You're on it.
the Just Banter, the Just Banter issue is very synonymous with the issue of online podcasts.
Okay.
Podcasts are like, the future when it comes to the way you get your information. Podcasts are very synonymous with online radio. Radio, as we know it, is dead. Although one of people will, disagree with me, but the reason why I say radio, as we know it, is dead, terrestrial radio, is this: people want to be able to access information from anywhere in the world.
Okay.
But if you have a terrestrial radio in South Dakota, for instance, and you do not have an online presence, people in Nigeria cannot get that type of information that they would ordinarily like to get. So if we are in Nigeria and we have a cousin, brother, sister who lives in South Dakota, and there's a national charger there, maybe there's a massive store hooked up to somewhere, you won't have that news, because if that news is not, in the wider technology space, you're probably not going to be able to get it. So, but things are changing when it comes to how, when it comes, so things are changing when it comes to how, online radio is penetrating, especially in Africa, with technology and technology. People are able to access online radio in their own cars now. So you don't necessarily have a 2020 or 2021 vehicle to be able to listen to, online radio in your car. People are already listening to Spotify by using Bluetooth to connect with their cars and all that. So all you have to do is, for instance, download the From a Radio mobile app. Once it's on your phone, just connect it via Bluetooth to your car. If your car is not, doesn't have all these interactive dashboards where you could actually download the mobile app directly, and then you can listen to from a radio.com. Don't let me
definitely
play some of the baddest jams. If you haven't been on from a radio and listen to the music, then you need to go there, and it's 24/7.
Definitely. We're coming on here, we're coming on board right now.
So yeah. So a lot of people, like I said, have reached out and they've said they're giving their 2 cents. We've also gotten, quite a few critics who have come up, but they've been positive critics of a few things that they would have expected that we would have done ordinarily, that we are still not doing. And we are taking all that into consideration in moving forward and taking it to the next step, which we are taking very, very seriously now, because going into the second year, we now know that it is time for us to monetize and run it as a business. So there's a lot of focus right now, the type of structure. And like I mentioned earlier, we're bringing on an advisory board and also some capital injection to take it to the next level.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Abib Enyola. So now I'm going to ask, everyone has this up and down moment in their lives, in their jobs, their businesses, and also what has been the lowest moment for you on the Banter show, on the Just Banter show?
The lowest moment for me on the Just Banter show. I think the lowest moments that I've had on the Just Banter show was when a young boy was sexually molested in the southeastern part of Nigeria. And we were having a conversation about it. And one of the people that was supposed to come on the show about that particular issue, we had a very strong disagreement about the issue of rape. The issue of rape is something that I find, like I said, very, very disturbing. Not that I know personally anybody that's really close to me that has actually told me that this is something that they've experienced. But I do know that quite a few people that are close to every single one of us has experienced it. 1 out of 4 women before the age of 18, in Nigeria
I think
particularly.
I second that. I second
And
that.
one out of 4 has undergone sexual molestation, a terrible traumatic experience. 1 out of 10 young men before the age of 18 have also been molested, whether by male or by females. That
Females,
is,
yeah.
and it is usually people that are close, to the
To
family
the family.
that actually, do that. That's usually the case. Also, of course, the elderly are vulnerable as well. So, very, very strong disagreement, and I was very disappointed. It nearly broke my heart that somebody that I knew that well would take that type
Could talk like that.
when it comes to the issue of rape and sexual molestation. It was my lowest moment.
Was okay, so now talking about the lowest moment, there are always happy hours. So what has been the peak and the happiest moment on the Just Banter show?
Oh well, my happiest so far was knowing or discovering the possibilities. So of course I did
Okay.
a little bit of research when I always do research. It's part of my job description as a matter of fact. So I found out that a little me, could actually get thousands of people online at the same time watching live. It blew my mind when it actually happened. And yes, I mean, he's a nice man, but he's not the Obama that I would have liked to bring on and then have that type of viewership. We've had equally sensitive people that were on that show. We now have that viewership. But we're eternally grateful to him because he opened our eyes to quite a lot of things. And his name is Senator Dino Melai. A lot of people like him, a lot of people don't like him, but regardless of that,
I like him. I
I
like
think
him.
I think he's a fantastic guy for him to have looked at little me
Please.
and decided that, you know what, I'm going to come on the show. This guy sent me an invitation and I'm going to honor that invitation. And I'd never met him, before that, except probably in the university days because we went to the same university, same alma mater, that's ABU Zaria. But that was, like over 25 years ago. So I'm not sure either of us could have recognized each other, on the streets, But he's an enigma. He does his own thing. So like him, hate him, you have to just respect him for what he's doing, what he's achieved for himself.
Please, yeah.
And yourself.
Okay. So at what point would you sit and say, yes, I made it? At what point? When you have over a million stream or when you have some billions of dollars in your account, at what point will you sit down? You be like, yes, Abib has made it.
This is not about me. It has never been about me. So it can never be a case
Okay.
of Habib has made it. That's never going to happen. What we
Okay.
hope to be able to do is to be able to make from a radio a mainstream media outlet, to be able to influence, people's thoughts, try, when I say influence, basically what I mean is to be able to get people to figure things out themselves rather than getting, information that meant to channel them in a particular direction. I hope, that after I die, maybe 50, 100 years after I die, we can still see the from a
The show
radio,
still goes on.
and all
Wow.
that. It still goes on. That's what I hope for. And I know that probably it's not going to even have my name on it at any point in time in the near future. It has nothing to do with me personally. It's just a dream that I had, a vision that I had. But like the person who starts war, they see the end of war, kind of thing. Especially when you decide to speak truth to power. Even your life is at risk. But hey, we're all gonna die one day, whether we like it or not. So if you like, speak the truth. If you like, don't speak the truth. It's up to you. That's it.
Okay. So tell me lastly before we go, what has been your greatest motivation, like your greatest push? Everyone
Oh,
has a motivation. I have my motivation. I know what tickles my fantasy. So what has been yours?
my greatest motivation, my mother.
Wow. Wow.
I would say
Wow.
my mother is still alive. She's kicking.
Wow.
Yeah, she's, I
An
mean,
LD.
oh, very, very, very much so. Her voice is as strong as mine, if not stronger. Uh,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
she's a very strong woman. She's everything, that you could think a mother should be and more. She has been supportive of everything that, all her kids have been doing. She has been extremely tolerant of, my person. I used to be a very interesting character growing up. I was a handful for like a whole family, not
I
just
think
one.
I have an idea of what that is.
So I was very, very adventurous in a lot of ways.
The
But
ways.
by and large, she was still able to streamline things, channel me in the right direction, and still
Mhm.
see me grow to be the person that I am today. So, of course, I will eternally be grateful to her, regardless of age or whatever. She's a dynamic woman. She's fantastic. She's my inspiration. She's my
Thank
motivation.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abib Enyola. Have a wonderful time. You're being the guest on the show. I know you're sweeping me out right now, but I had a wonderful time with you. I think I've learned quite a bit, and I think we'll discuss that off camera. But it was really nice talking to you. I wish you the very best and congratulations. It's a year, and that's like a big, big one. Not everyone start things easily and still go on moving and moving and moving. But one thing you need to know is that I got you anytime, any day. Right now, I'm going to ask you one last question for our viewers and listeners and those that will come back and watch this video. How do they join in on the show when they want to get in, they want to listen to you from a radio? What platforms do they go to? Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So we have all our social media handles. It's actually running on the screen, as a matter of fact. It's been running for
Yep.
a while. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And of course, you can
Okay.
always go to the From a Radio website in itself or the mobile app. I mean, we're accessible from so many channels.
Okay. Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you. Everything went on a plain sailing. I had super fun all the way from Dublin. It's from a radio, and I'm TD Balsam, and I just had the host of the Just Banter show. Till I come your way next time, I'll be leaving the show for a major host. So this is me saying good evening from wherever you are, good day, and
Before
have
you
a
run
lovely
away,
night.
TD Balsam, let me ask you a question. Are you coming to work with us on From a Radio?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think we should talk about that off radio. We should talk about that off air. So we, would I love to work with you. Like I said, I got you anytime, any day. I got you 100%. I'm a big fan and I'm rooting.
You're very energetic when you're online. Practically
Yeah,
every time,
yeah,
practically every time that I've listened to you, Sobi FM and all of that, a couple of the
yeah,
that you have done. You are a fantastic young lady. You're doing extremely well, and I see a really, really bright future. And you're the type of people that they're
you.
actually looking for on from a radio.com. So we'll be
Thank
following you.
you.
We'll be following you until we sign you up. You know.
Okay, you sent me some dollars, maybe of that. That you called me to host the show. That was like a big one for me. It means that, oh, you noticed that small girl. I really appreciate, and God bless you. God bless from the radio, and I'm rooting for you also.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to say a very big thank you to all our supporters. Like I said, I don't want to mention any names because I don't want to leave out anybody, whether by omission or commission. So I did not want to start going into names one by one. But I'd like to say a massive, massive thank you to you all. You will bear with us that we are going to now monetize going forward. But we are still going to try our best to be doing what we are doing, which is being unbiased and speaking truth to power till the very end. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, good night.